What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Real Word Podcast, a place where real thoughts, real ideas, and real words come to life. I'm your host, Drew, coming from San Diego, California. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking out the channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit up those links down below. And now we can get into the episode. It is Friday, June 26, 2020. So welcome in. Welcome to the end of the work week. You know, I got my coffee here. Have a sip of that. I also got some dabs here. We'll have a couple of those. But let's get into it, man. The last few days, that June gloom has been real, at least here in San Diego, at least where I'm at. It has just been, not cold by any means, but just super gray. And, it seems like we always forget that June kind of has this gray weather. Starts with like that May gray, June gloom, and then once June passes, then the real summer begins here anyway. And July, August, September, October are just really hot here usually. So we'll see. I just know the plants that I'm growing don't really like the gray and the gloom, you know? They are autoflowers, so they'll still grow and do what they do regardless, but the more sun they get, the better. So it's been a little tough for them. But yeah, it's been like in the mid 60s to low 70s, but really gray. And over the next few days, that temperature is even supposed to drop from that, I believe. Like I'm saying, it's not cold. Not by any means is it cold. It's actually like really nice out, but just no sun. Just really gray. And I don't even want to say depressing, because it's not even depressing, but it's just gray and just not like foggy in the mornings, but yeah, just that gloomy gray weather. And that's how it's been the last few days, and say it's gonna continue until early next week or so. So we'll see. I just know my plants don't like it. My indoor ones, they're about a week and a half to 2 weeks behind the outdoor ones, and they're almost caught up. It's crazy just how much light there. So the outdoor ones get however much sun they get, and the indoor ones get a consistent 16 hours a day of light. And then I'm constantly putting on air conditioning and the fans always on and all that, just to keep the air circulating and make sure it's all good to go. But it is a challenge still, like trying to figure out the temperature and control the temperature, because it can get real hot in there. Like last time I was growing, it didn't even get as hot as it was this time. And like, I don't know what's happening, but it said like it got to 140 something degrees in the tent. But it's like, I don't know if I believe that. Like, could though, but I don't know. I don't know, but I'm excited about the grow. I'm excited about seeing what it'll produce, these autoflowers. I've never had an experience with it, and it's been a long time since I've actually grown anything sustainable that I can actually like smoke. So I'm excited to see what happens with it. So shall be cool. Let's get into this. Let's start heating up this nail. And have a little of this Jack Flash live sauce, I believe it was, from that Cresco. And I do have some topics I wanted to go over, so we'll get into it. after this dab. Last episode went really long. I went almost a whole hour. So check that out. Didn't even feel like it. Next thing you know, it was like 50 something minutes. I was like, oh wow, all right, cool. And that's, you know, that's kind of what I was hoping for, is to eventually be able to get comfortable and just do as long as I want and not have to be limited by, you know, like when I was first starting, my other phone and stuff just wouldn't do video for long, so this has a lot more memory and can go a lot longer, and I'm, you know, keeping it cleaned up so it doesn't have all that memory stored on it. I'm using the cloud a lot more and like that kind of storage to keep things. I got an external hard drive that I gotta put stuff on now, so I'm much more smart about it now. But let's get into this Jack Flash. That is real nice, man. It's real nice. Let that cool down for a second. It'll be my first dab of the morning, obviously. Oh, I did clean the rig. So got nice, clean, fresh water, all good, all clean there. Look at that. I didn't clean the nail though. I did not do that this morning. Let's let this cool down for just another few seconds and cheers, everybody. So anybody who's had Jack Herrera or a J1, that's what that tastes like. And a Jack or a J1 is probably my favorite sativa. So that stuff is really tasty right there. And a really good sativa. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, so like I said, I had a couple of topics I wanted to get into, so let's roll through this. But like I was saying, yeah, okay, so before we get into topics, this is what I was talking about before. I appreciate everybody who, you know, has been watching, and it does seem like whoever has been watching longer. Like each video has been getting longer view times and everything, so I appreciate that. I want to keep it interesting. I want to keep you guys engaged and, you know, things like that. Sometimes I lose my train of thought and can kind of go all over the place, but that's what happens sometimes. It's like I do have things that I, for the most part, have couple of topics I want to write down, but when I get talking, sometimes I go off all over the place, and you know, something will kind of trigger another thought that'll lead me down this other, you know, thought pattern and all of that. But I appreciate everybody who has been watching. That previous video, like I said, was probably my longest solo one. It obviously was my longest solo one, so I appreciate everybody for checking that one out. And yeah, man, we're just gonna be trying to grow the channel and just keep it coming. We'll see what happens within the next couple of weeks once I get all the equipment for the PlayStation and, you know, get all that set up. we'll see what happens. But maybe, we'll be able to do some like watch party pay-per-view streaming fight companion thing or whatever. And also I'm gonna probably be starting to do a little bit of the gaming thing as well, because it just looks fun, man. Especially that Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the online thing. Duos, trios. I don't know about quads. Quads seems like a little bit much, but the duos and trios seems fun, and even solo would probably be fun too. So that's what I'm looking forward to once we get everything kind of set up, is to just spend a couple hours every day, every couple of days, doing some streaming. And I know that's a big market and people love gaming, and it's like I've just always been behind on the system, so it's just I've never been a big gamer. And I know the PlayStation 5 is coming out this fall, or this holiday season, I mean. And it's like, so I'm gonna be behind on a system again, but hopefully, maybe I can make this an investment. Make a little money off of it, and then be able to, buy the new system and be completely up to date on everything, But it's like, I just want to start doing things that I want to do. Growing cannabis, growing my own fruits and vegetables, and having like my own garden, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Doing my solo podcast, doing the podcast with my brother, doing podcasts with Zach, doing gaming, doing like watch parties, stream along things. Like, those are all the things that I want to do. And real estate, gotta throw that in there. Do a couple deals, maybe a couple window cleaning jobs as well. So it's like having all of those options, I feel, is much more ideal for me. I mean, I would have to really schedule everything out though, because having that many options can be really overwhelming as well. But hey, if I, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's this podcast. And then, so I have my dates, but then also schedule the gaming, then also schedule real estate stuff, then also schedule, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I have to do. And on this day, do a window cleaning job. And then, so those are the things I have to do, especially so I don't get burnt out just on one thing. It keeps me kind of engaged in all aspects of it and not just focus on one thing, and then I'll get burnt out on it. Because I enjoy all those things that I mentioned, but if I do anything too much, then I'm gonna get burnt out on it eventually. So that's what that is. It basically was all just me coming down to saying I appreciate everybody who has been tuning in and watching, and I think more will be to come pretty soon, within the next, couple of weeks to a month. Should have everything set up and situated with the new equipment and all of that. And with having the live stream capability in the house, might just do, a live podcast once a week or so. You know what I mean? Like, it could just open up the world to all sorts of different possibilities, and I'm excited about it. But let's get into a couple of these topics. I just wanted to give you a little update on yesterday. I went on another run, so that was 2 days in a row, back to back. This one was about 35 minutes. The one before that was 25 to 30 minutes. So kept it around similar times, similar paces, and everything like that. And I'm feeling sore today. I'm feeling it in my legs today. Excuse me. But it was good. It's always, I know it's always good when I run. I always feel really good when I run, but sometimes that discipline and motivation and all of that just isn't there. But I really got to just start cracking down and taking better care of myself. And seems like I'm kind of going in that direction again. I really need to just focus on that, make it a priority, and not stray away from it. Like I said, that goes back into scheduling and just making it a part of the day and making it a priority like a job. And it can be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, hour and a half. So it doesn't have to be much, but I just gotta do it. Be disciplined with it and do it. Um so this was crazy. So yesterday after my run, I came back home and I had this new um shower filter, this water filter for the shower head and stuff. And I used it that morning to fill up some water for my plants, to water the plants, because I wanted to get them the new good water that I had. And it worked. Everything was fine, all good. After my run and you know, late morning, early afternoon, I went to go take a shower and it wasn't working. Like the shower head or something was clogged, or I don't know, because the water was on. That was working. I unscrewed the shower head, water was coming out of the filter, so I don't know what happened, but my shower head didn't work, so I got on homedepot.com or whatever and was just gonna get a new shower head at first, but then I realized I need a new like handle thing to turn the shower on and off, and then the thing to make it a bath to stop the water, or one of something doesn't work. So I just bought a whole new thing to replace it. Didn't realize you needed extra tools or whatever for it. So spent more money than I should have, and got just got a shower head. But once we do get the tools needed, I will have what I need, and it will be replaced eventually. I don't know when, but just frustrating. Those types of things always happen to me. I thought it was just gonna be unscrew this and then just pop it in and do this, but no, you need a soldering iron and all this stuff, and frustrating, super frustrating. But at least I got the shower head in. I was able to take a shower with that new water filter, and man, does it feel good. Your skin feels nice, your hair feels good. Everything is just, that's the way to go, man. I can't believe it's taken me this long to do this, but when my neighbor told me about it, gave me a few different options of different filters and stuff, and they gave me their setup. I didn't go with their setup. I just got one of the cheaper options just to kind of see how it is and how it works and all that. And this one's nice. It was a cheap version or whatever, probably 15, 18 bucks each or whatever. I got two, one for me, one for my dad. They each came with an extra filter as well, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know the brand name. I'd have to look again, but I definitely recommend checking out these shower filters. Mine is a 15 something filter with the vitamin C boost or something like that. I don't know. But it's nice, man. I felt it immediately after the shower. I mean, this could all be placebo, but it's I felt it and I feel it. It's it's different for sure. I felt it anyway. After that, went and helped my mom. Me and my dad went and helped my mom move some of her furniture. She got her couple of her couches reupholstered, and she just needed help moving them into the house, into where she lives and everything. So That was just real quick. Helped her with that. She basically gave us some dinner money, which was cool for helping out. Never needed, but always appreciated. Um, so yeah, that was cool. Got to see her real quick and help her out. And went and got some dinner with my dad. We just went to the local Mexican spot here, got a burrito, went back home, ate that up real quick, and basically called it a night. Watched a little something on YouTube and stuff, but that was basically it. That was basically it for yesterday. Um, was looking up some news this morning. So this stuff is interesting. So there's definitely, been an uptick in positive COVID-19 cases here in San Diego, and from what it sounds like, kind of all across the country. But this is obviously due to more testing. So initially, we couldn't get the test done, and there wasn't enough tests and all that, and so the numbers were gradually rising. But now more people are being tested, and we should have a bigger and better sample size to show that it's not that big of a deal, and more people will survive it than we assume, but hey, well, I don't know. It's just crazy right now because people are seeing these numbers increase, and now they're calling for like another shutdown. And why aren't they shutting things down, and why aren't they acting fast and all this stuff? But from what it sounds like, there's like 13 triggers from what their wording is, that need to be hit for them to kind of shut things down again. And right now, only one of those triggers have been activated, and that's the uptick in positive cases. So, they have to, if once like hospital beds and like, hospitals in general just start getting more overwhelmed again, then that's when they would have to, make those changes and shut things down. But it sounds like they have, some sort of guidelines in place that they're going to be sticking to. What that means for us, what that means for us going forward, who knows? I still find all of this really interesting. It feels like we're just being played, honestly. Like everybody gets, not everybody, but like, a lot of people get sick and get the flu and get different viruses, pneumonia, and all that. And some people die, some people live, so. And in the end, we all die anyway. I don't know. I just find all this pretty crazy. I really do. And I also saw this morning that like officials are now reporting that the mask exemption cards and flyers that are going around that I've kind of been talking about are not legit or legal or whatever. And what I was seeing on this news story is like, yeah, people have made like laminated cards and stuff, looking like it's from the Department of Justice or whatever. So I understand, like that's fraudulent. That's not, legit. But I had to go look up on cdph.ca.gov, and that's the California Department of Public Health. And I went to their website, and it does state people who have a disability or mental health condition are still exempt, along with, a list of a few others, like if you're running or running or hiking or swimming or, there's a few handful things that are on that list that, you're exempt from wearing a mask. And I did have to make sure that that disability or mental health condition are still on there, and that was from cdph.ca.gov. So go check that out. You know, become aware and don't let people, kind of hate on you if you have a disability or a mental health condition that kind of inhibits you from wearing a mask, because that's your right and you are protected. Again, I'm not saying this for everybody. Um, but I do know like workers and employees at a business can't ask you what your disability is. Like, that's not legal. But if they suspect something's off, I would assume they can maybe take legal action and maybe make you prove that you have this disability or something. I don't know. I don't really know how that would work, because I was looking up the ADA website as well, and they said people who don't have a disability are not protected under uh, these guidelines and these, their protection. So just, be aware of it all. It's just a constant learning thing and trying to navigate through it all. And like I said, I was like, what the heck? This thing is fake? Like, what I've been saying is false or whatever? No, it's not. What they're trying to do is scare people and deter people, because, people are making like fake ID cards. You know what I mean? Like laminating them themselves and printing out this statement and just making their own card so they can flash around and stuff. And that's what they're calling fraudulent and, not legitimate. But like I said, I had to look into it again because I was like, no way. But no, I'm right. Just go to that website, like I said, cdph.ca.gov, and look it up, and you could see the list of who is exempt. Just like I said, just become aware. That's all it is. Become aware. All right, there are a couple other topics I wanted to get into, but let's have a dab. Let's heat this up. So this next dab I'm gonna have is from King's Garden, and it's not the same stuff I had from the other day. This one is like gelato, I think. Yeah, gelato live shatter or something. Boom. King's Garden, man, they love that all-seeing eye. I don't get it. But not just them, I've seen it on a few other cannabis brands, and I don't get it. Man, my headphones are like cracked on one of the ears, so I had to order a new pair. Like I said, over the next couple of weeks, I should be completely set on all equipment. I'm gonna have a couple extra XLR cables. I'm getting a new mic arm for in here, so this one can then go to the new mic I'm getting for inside, so when we do the streaming. So I will have just the adjustable arms in here, and then this mic stand will go inside for the streaming. So, like I said, I'm getting some equipment. I do know I still need like that soundproof foam, and get some new chairs for in here for the other side right over there. But, it'll all come. It'll all come. It all just takes a little time. So everything I've been normally getting as far as concentrate normally comes in a container like this, you know? But I think because this is some of the cheaper stuff or whatever from King's Garden, comes old school in the parchment paper. Don't get this too often anymore. Like every once in a while, you know? But a lot of it comes in the containers now. So that is that. Got that cooling down for a second. Let's get ourselves a little dab ready. Nothing crazy. All right. Let's get into this. All right. Cheers, everybody. Yo, that's that gelato from King's Garden. So what else did I want to get into? So kind of wanted to touch on this NASCAR and Bubba Wallace situation again. So reading that FBI report, people are kind of, I would have to read it again and read the exact wording from the FBI report and maybe go back to see the whole timeline of what was said, who said what at what time, and really follow it from that way, because I'm hearing that Bubba Wallace didn't even see the noose or the noose. But then he's on CNN saying that he did see it, and people are calling him out how he's kind of contradicting himself. I don't know. I don't really have, TV like that, so everything I get is through like YouTube. So I just see news clips and things like that. Or like look stuff up on on the phone or the computer, news that way. But this is really confusing because one, it's not a noose, because a noose would tighten up if you like pull on it or put, pressure on it, from my understanding. And this one that was pictured, it looked like a noose, but from some research or whatever, is called like a bowline knot or something like that. And it doesn't tighten when pulled. Unlike a noose, which will, it's meant to tighten up when the pressure is, you know what I mean? So it's definitely not a noose. And why wasn't this reported on or called a noose from way back when it was determined it was there, from like 2019? Like, why wasn't it reported or said that it was a noose then? But now all of a sudden, with all this race stuff going on, now there's an issue with it. I just don't understand. And like I said, in my previous episode, there seems to be some weird connections with, you know, like his car is obviously sponsored by like Black Lives Matter or whatever. And yeah, then there's that connection of the owner or the people who own the company that he races for, and I believe her name was Cynthia Hallenbach, and her connection with the Hillary Clinton uh, campaign or foundation or something like that. So there's a whole weird connection with, Black Lives Matter and the Democratic Party, which is really interesting because Black Lives Matter is supporting these white Democratic politicians who want to destroy the community and families and America, basically. So, I don't know. There's just this weird connection. Like I said, I have to go and really look at the timeline and see who said what at what point and really look into the facts of the situation. Excuse me. Ooh. The facts of the situation and just you know find the truth. And like I said, that's all that I've ever been about. But it looks like the truth is this wasn't a noose. You can try and say it was all you want, but from the functionality of it, it definitely is not a noose. It was there from 2019, so it definitely wasn't targeted at Bubba Wallace. It just seems like NASCAR overreacted. It seemed like everything was just kind of a misunderstanding. Um, and that's just not cool, man. This is how you get fake news, and people will believe more the initial story than the backtracking of it. So it doesn't matter how much they try and backtrack now or say it wasn't a news or whatever, even though they're still claiming it is, people are still gonna just run with it. So that's all I really have to say about that situation. Um, Final topic here, at least what I have written down. UFC Fight Night tomorrow. I'm excited about that. It's gonna be at the Apex Center in Las Vegas, headlining Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker. So those two are gonna be the main event. I believe this was supposed to be the San Diego fight, but everything changed. Uh, um, but this should be a good fight. Dan Hooker's really talented, and Dustin Poirier, we already know he's a beast. So that should be a really good fight. I don't know. It's hard to pick either one. It's hard to pick against either one, honestly. Um, I'm just looking forward to a good fight. And then co-main is Mike Perry versus Mickey Gall. That should be a fun, interesting, scrappy fight. I think that should be. Oh man, both the co-main and the main are really good fights. I'm really excited about both of those. Those are the only two I had written down, but it looked like it was a pretty exciting card. Not the strongest by any means, but still looked like a fun card, and especially that co-main and the main should really be pretty special, I think. Ooh. So, I am definitely looking forward to that. Not much else is going on. like I said, got some things being shipped, all that equipment. So within the next couple of weeks, get everything set up, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. Is just getting that situated, set up, and you know, get it streaming, get it going. Have these other options open up. Cause it's like right after I would, this is what I would do. Like right after I do this and get the audio exporting and all that, I would go play for like an hour or two, stream it and stuff, and then do work. So there's just I already know kind of how I want to go about it. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to what is to come. I feel a little bit better mentally. Things are, I really want to start taking better care of myself. So it all starts with eating properly, health, fitness, working out, doing those things, and it'll all kind of have a trickle down effect and this domino effect where one thing will lead to another, which will lead to another, which will lead to another. And next thing you know, I'll be feeling good and things will be working out. So that is how I have to look at it. That, and that's some improvement, I guess. We always have ups and downs here, but right now, I feel like I'm on a positive trajectory and just gotta kind of keep it going, keep it moving. And, like I said, though, in my previous video, I am nervous about my next appointment just due to what that test is gonna entail and deep dive into kind of my subconscious and all that. So that is something I'm looking forward to, but really nervous about. And that should all be kind of happening around the same time with receiving all the getting everything set up and then having that test and we'll see what happens. It might be a crazy time, honestly. I don't know. Might go through a depression or something, honestly. We'll see. But it is something to look forward to. Like I said, I think it'll be really beneficial to really get to know myself, get to the root of these issues that I have, and, figure out a way to really work through them. And that is where I'm at, and I think that is going to do it for today. Nothing else to look forward to this weekend as far as content dropping. So I will be back on Monday morning. Everybody have a good weekend. Stay safe out there. Thank you for watching, tuning in. And until next time, everybody, peace.